Cut.
The Digital Filmmaking program at the College of the North Atlantic is a 2-year, hands-on program where students learn the art of making films through making films. Located in Stephenville, Newfoundland and Labrador, an ideal location for film and video activity. With so many backdrops from oceans and beaches to mountains and cliffs, allowing you the freedom to be creative and to tell your stories. And right in your backyard is the Theatre Arts program at Memorial University's Grenfell campus, with aspiring actors as hungry as you are to gain experience.
Hello? Could you wait for me?
And now, a new articulation agreement allows graduates of the Digital Filmmaking program the option to earn a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in the Technical Theatre Production program within 2 years at Memorial University.
So, this is what the past looks like.
Oh, my friend, that is the future.
The Digital Filmmaking program offers courses in directing, cinematography, grip and electrics, art direction, editing, compositing, color correction, production and post-production audio, live television, and webcasting, as well as a number of industry standard certifications, with a focus on training filmmakers and industry technicians to gain the skills and experience needed to work in the ever-growing film industry. Students of the Digital Filmmaking program individually produce a number of short narrative films, music videos, and documentaries, as well as 2 group films during the Intersession semesters.
Recitation project, Scene 1 Alpha, Take 6.
The Intersession semester in the Digital Filmmaking program is an exciting one, where both first and second year students work alongside their instructors and a director to produce and present a short film. They are involved in the entire process, from developing and writing the script to filming, editing, and premiering the film to a live audience at the end of the semester. The film industry has seen significant growth in Newfoundland and Labrador, with $50 million in production activity a year. More productions means a need for more crew. So if you're ready for an exciting, adventurous, and creative career, the Digital Filmmaking program is just what you need.
Goes by the name Rooster. You seen him?
Cut. That was awesome, you guys. Back to 1. Sean, that was great. We're gonna get to do it again this time.
My personal narrative film is Lady Number 16. It's based off a Dale Jarvis tale, and it's set in the 1800s. It's a ghost story. It's filmed in black and white, and I think it's got a unique style, a unique story that not a lot of people are doing nowadays.
Good evening, gentlemen. I have just now discovered that I have somehow managed to lock myself out of my own home. Would you fine fellows be able to help me?
Of course, my lady. Anything for a nice young woman such as yourself.
Well, sure. Our ship doesn't leave till morning, so we have plenty of time to spare. What can we do for you?
Thank you. Follow me, lads. I live just up the road from here. Here we are.
So, which house will be yours then?
This one right here, number 16. I don't know how I could have been so foolish to have lost my key. I'm hoping you can find another way inside. Perhaps you can try one of the ground floor windows?
All right, my dear. Shouldn't be a problem if we go in through that window over there, eh, Davy?
Just give us a minute, miss, and we'll see what we can do.
Please, take your time. And thank you so much for your assistance.
Good heavens, Davy. Look at this place. It's almost as if the king himself could have lived here.
No kidding. With a home and furnishing like that, she must have some sort of power around here.
No, come on, mate. Enough talk for now. Help me pry this window open, will you?
Here's my pocket knife. See if you can get under the sash for that. Good God, look at these carpets. They have to be made from the finest wool in all the world.
We made it in, miss.
Thank you two so much. You really are gentlemen.
Anything for a lady in need.
I can't thank you two enough. Is there anything I can do? Maybe I can get you two a drink of some kind?
Of course. Well, we rarely get to relax, and with a nice young lady such as yourself, it seems as if our rum rations have gone dry.
I shall return shortly. Please, make yourself comfortable in the parlor.
Quite comfy, wouldn't you say, Johnny?
Very. Can stay all night in a place like this.
Thank you, miss. What can we call you?
You can call me Elizabeth, or Liz for short.
Well, Liz, it really is a treat to be in here. You're just lucky we already planned to be in the harbour all night.
It seems as if I've lost my manners. What brings you two men to our town?
We're sailors on the HMS Wide. The crew's headed for Bona Vista tomorrow morning. We hear there's massive amounts of cod there this time of year.
There usually is. The place is crawling with the things.
This is our first time in Newfoundland. It reminds us of home. It's really beautiful.
That's usually one of the first things foreign people tell us. Just don't stay for the winters. They're very harsh.
Say, you don't mind if we have a smoke, do you?
Oh, good heavens, no. Go right ahead.
Would you like one, madam?
No, thank you. I'm fine. I can't help but look at your case. Where did you get it?
Oh, it's a family heirloom. My grandfather originally got it from my father, and it's been in the family ever since.
Looks very fancy. It has to mean a great deal to you.
Oh, very. Never leaves home without it. Say, you wouldn't happen to know the time there, would you?
It is 8:30. Do you gentlemen have somewhere to be?
Yes, me and Davy promised we'd be back to the wharf to load up the ship for tomorrow. We really have to be going.
Thank you again, Liz. And it was a pleasure meeting you and spending an hour in your fancy home.
Of course. Thank you both for coming to my aid. It won't go unnoticed.
Blast. Left me cigarette case behind.
Damn. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal.
I told you, Davy, it's right important to my family. I needs it back.
All right. Well, I guess we could tell Charles that we'll be a bit late later, but hopefully we'll be back in jig time. What?
I swear, this is where we were just then.
This is number 16. It says right there.
Let's go and have a look. Maybe Miss Elizabeth's okay.
This don't make no sense. This place hasn't been touched in 100 years or more.
The only thing that's new here is the cobwebs and... Wait.
Holy jeez, whose footprints are these?
They can't be ours. There's no way. Go stand next to those and see.
This is too much. Just get your damn cigarette case and let's get out of here.
You don't have to tell me twice, Davy.
Oh, Jesus, John, you're drunkard.
Calm down, boy. It's just me. Cigarette case.
All right, you've got your damn cigarette case. Now let's move it.
Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir. Are you from here by chance?
Why, yes. Lived here my whole life. What seems to be the issue?
Me and John here were just up the road at number 16. We spent the evening with a lovely young lady. Would you happen to recall a Miss Elizabeth living there by chance?
A Miss Elizabeth. Doesn't ring a bell. From the moment I could walk, I was told to stay away from the place, as it was said to be haunted by a woman who died many years before I was even born. Oftentimes I would peer in through the window to see if I could see the ghost, but I never did. They say she was heartbreakingly beautiful. Her skin was as pale as alabaster, her lips as red as blood. Her hair was long and black as a winter's night without stars. I don't know what it is that you two men saw up there tonight, but let this be a warning. Never go there again. If you two men are half as smart as you look, you'll stay away from number 16.
So my documentary is about St. Luke's, which is a church back in my hometown, Placentia. So I talk about why the Historical Society saw value in the church, its future plans, and why I think, and just everyone should appreciate the church for what it is.
My name is Christopher Newhook. I moved here in 1999, and as soon as I came here, I became infatuated with this little church. Primarily because it wasn't a church that anybody knew anything about. It was the little church that could, because over there is the large church, the Catholic Church, and that's where primarily all the people go. And so this had a very small congregation, and it was never open, and never saw it being used. And in some cases, a lot of the people had never been in here before. They'd lived here their entire life as Catholics, and were told to not only not go into the building, but stay away. And in the old days, you'd walk down the street and you were told by the religion to look the other way. You weren't even allowed to look at the church, let alone go in there. The Historical Society was approached by the remaining congregation of about 3 or 4 people and asked us if we would help them plaque this church for heritage purposes. They were afraid that if it didn't get properly acknowledged in the provincial government, that it could be turned over to some business, it could be demolished, who knows. So now the church belongs to the Historical Society. The grounds still belong to the diocese. So the church is ours, but the headstones and the graveyard is not.
Hi, I'm Tom O'Keefe. I'm president of the Placentia Area Historical Society, and as such we have a responsibility of promoting our history and protecting it where we can, any artifacts and so on. So were involved with that, and that's really probably, I guess, what got us involved with St. Luke's Anglican Church. But the idea was it's an important historic site, so we wanted to keep it, first of all, keep it looking as much as it had for years. So people who used or even visitors, tours, and could just go in and see what a little church like that would have been new and liked. So it's quite interesting that way.
This building is the third, definitely the third, possibly the fourth church in this location. It's not been confirmed, but we think that the Basque people who are coming here probably before Columbus to catch fish and process fish or had some sort of a religious structure here in this location. And we know that because we found Basque headstones just right around here in the church grounds. And they're on display at the Raleigh House Museum right now. We know that the Friar Recollects made this a French church ground and a French structure in 1689. Then in 1713, when the French seceded Placentia, this was a French church turned over to an English church. And then in 1786, Prince William Henry, with a blessing from his father, King George III, gave money to build a church here. And he gave us the tipstaff, which is at the museum. He gave us a communion set and a tapestry.
And it's on probably one of the most historic sites in definitely Newfoundland, but maybe even in North America. The St. Luke's graveyard there was one of the oldest sites, active sites. It was back in 1563, a Basque sailor who was sick and dying said he wanted to be buried in that graveyard. So that's been quite a while. But the water font, the lectern, and the altar are all from a previous church that used to be there. So that makes that quite interesting. It's important to keep any historic site active. If it's a type of site that can be made active, it's important to keep that active and allow people to continue to visit the church. And also it's important to run events, particularly if they in any way tie in with history, to try and spread knowledge of our history in the area. So in that way it's obviously very important to us, and we're delighted to have the opportunity to take it over.
We at one of the meetings, it was brought up that somebody had requested the idea of using this as the church as an escape room. I know that a number of people did not know what an escape room was. They just didn't get the concept. So I knew I had done one before. I saw the potential and I said, let's push this. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right, yeah, so my name is Kevin Noserly. I'm one of 4 owners of Escape Quest, which is an escape room in downtown St. John's. I recently moved to Placentia at the top of the pandemic, and I discovered St. Luke's Church by walking my dog and playing Pokemon Go. And when I came by it, I just thought it was a perfect location to host an escape game. It has this history baked right into it, so it's on, the oldest European cemetery on the island. It's one of 4 churches that have been built here and possibly the oldest consecrated ground. So yeah, it was a really exciting narrative that I thought an escape room could help introduce to the public. So an escape room is basically you and a group of friends go into a room. You have 1 hour to look for clues, solve puzzles, overcome obstacles, and try and escape the scenario before your time runs out. It's all about teamwork, communication, and having a bit of fun. This church was ideal for a number of reasons. First of all, from a logistics standpoint, it's owned by the Placentia Area Historical Society, so it was relatively easy to set up a partnership with them. It's right next to O'Reilly House Museum as well, which has a great deal to do with sort of the mercantile era of the history of the area. It was just sort of at the heart of Placentia. You can tie in stories about the Irish, the Jerseymen, the British, the French, the Basque, all can be tied to this location. So it was a great way to tell the vast history of the area in sort of a centralized historic point. The church is special to me just because, I love history. As a recent settler here in Placentia, I love going around and learning about the various history and stories that this area has to tell. Like so much of rural Newfoundland, there are a lot of stories sort of baked into the structures and the local families that we don't often get a chance to look at and review and sort of show off to the world. So yeah, when I learned about the history of the area and the church, I thought it would just make a great adventure to to share a little bit of rural Newfoundland's history with the rest of the world.
The Historical Society were asked, could Kevin run an escape room here? And I met with Kevin and Tom, and he pitched the idea to us. We went back to the committee and we got approval. And I've been working with Kevin to help him, promote this. And as a member as a worker with Parks Canada Castle Hill, we picked up on that because we really like to promote local entertainment. And so I was pushing a lot of people through this past summer to take advantage of the escape room. And in a church like this, it adds so much to the authenticity of the story of Placentia Plunder that he's promoting. Everybody loves to get into old buildings, so it was just a nice little excuse for people to explore. And it's got great energy. This place has wonderful energy, and it's got wonderful acoustics, and it's so minimal in its structure, and there's not many things here you can kind of break or damage, or it was perfect. I think it was a perfect opportunity for us to take advantage of that. If you were big, you could play in the bigger centers, but there was nowhere for little people. For people with little, good stories, but not professionals. Placentia Bay is known for a lot of music. We are a music mecca. But there's a lot of us that do other things. So inevitably we evolved to this space, and that's how the solstice came into play. And we do the winter solstice here now. I primarily do it now. And the solstice is on usually December 21st. And then I'll do another one at Castle Hill for June 21st. What I wanted to do was probably a little obscure. I asked around, I had a few people, some friends and people that I knew had a little story in their pocket, or they wanted to sing a song, or they wanted to present something. And I said, sure. And so I put up a few posters, and lo and behold, we filled the place. And we really filled the place. And it became a very intimate but very non-planned event. We had people showing up with cookies and cake and tea and coffee, and I would walk in and there would be standing room only, and I'd get up and I really would just not know who was performing until they actually came through the door. And then I'd make a quick list, get up on stage and just say, hey, who wants to do what? And after the first one, when the congregation saw how well it was appreciated and the turnout, they wanted more. And it became a pattern, almost a Christmas tradition, even though it's not primarily Christian, it's pre-Christian. The celebration of the solstice, meaning the return of the sun, on December 21st. Churches in general were built historically as a sense of a place, a focal place for communities to gather. Stop your working, stop whatever it is you're doing, to come together as a community and celebrate. Celebrate in most cases to celebrate the glory of God. With this church, it also served that purpose in the community, but as religion is changing its perspective, it's changing as we change. There's a value of this as a community center, as a place to go on a Sunday to receive, to get married in, to be born in, to die in, to receive communion, to receive the Word of God. It doesn't have that value anymore. And as with a lot of churches in worldwide, they're losing their need. People are not wanting to go to church anymore. But we still need that. We still crave a sense of community. We still want to get together as a community and celebrate and come together and say, how's your week? How's the kids? How's the wife and kids? What's up these days? We've lost that in a sense, and that was one of the value of church. Church it made us collectively come together and unite and sometimes grieve, sometimes together, sometimes celebrate together. For the long time, this church has had no value in 90% of the population because they're all Catholics who, this is just somebody else's church. So by taking away the stigma of Catholicism or Protestantism and just turning this into a community center, it's allowing us to bring anybody who wants to come into the door, sit down and enjoy the space.
My final narrative film was Mask of My Own Face. It's about a sentient ancient mask and its relationship with a psychologist conducting interviews with it.
Morning, Sasha. You busy?
Is that a serious question?
Listen, I dropped a file off of your desk. I was hoping you could take a look at it when you got a chance.
I didn't see it when I came in, but I'm sure it's here somewhere. 1 second. Okay, yeah, I got it.
The field agents just found this one a couple of days ago. This one's weird.
It's a porcelain mask that talks?
There's more. The higher-ups need your expertise in behavioral psychology to conduct some interviews with SCP-035. If you're up for it.
I'll take it. No questions asked.
Good to hear. First interview's tomorrow at 12.
Yeah, okay.
I'll leave you two lovebirds to it then.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, madame. And to whom do I owe this special occasion?
Good afternoon, SCP-35. My name is Dr. Williams. Is there a name that you prefer to be called?
My, so formal. This organization seems to be very mature compared to the others that I've worked with in the past. Quite well spoken.
Is that a yes?
Yes, and you may call me Yushin.
I have a few questions to ask you. If you don't want to answer any, you don't have to. You stated earlier that you had worked with other organizations in the past. Care to elaborate on that?
How forward of you, Dr. Williams. I won't go over all of them, as that might be a handful even for an interview. But I can say that I was part of the Roman Republic, and subsequently the assassination of King Julius Caesar.
You attempted to kill King Julius Caesar?
No, don't be ridiculous. I'm a mask after all. I orchestrated the murder of King Julius.
Why did you want him dead?
It was simply his time, or more so, Rome's time. He had served his purpose, and I just had to move some pieces, one human life, to birth the Roman Empire.
That's incredible. How did you...
It almost didn't happen, though. Right before the meeting where his killers wait, King Julius's wife approached him, saying that she had seen him murdered in her dreams. She almost saved him, too, if he wasn't so stubborn, just brushed it off like nothing.
So you intended the collapse of the Roman Republic, and in return created the Roman Empire?
Oh, come now. Is learning basic history really what you wanted out of this? I thought they taught this in school.
Okay then. Do you remember where you were born? Or maybe in your case created?
I'm not sure exactly. For as long as I can remember, I've just been existing, wandering and searching. I met someone who I thought I could trust, but I was mistaken. They trapped me in this cold, dark place.
By cold, dark place, do you mean the mask? Who trapped you in the mask?
Someone who isn't worth fussing over, Dr. Williams.
Is it someone with your capabilities? Someone ancient like yourself?
I'm a bit tired of this. So thank you, Dr. Williams, but we are done here.
Of course. My apologies, Yushin. We can continue this at a later date. Ending the recording. Thank you. Until next time.
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
Not really. I only just got here and I'm on my second cup of coffee.
Interview not go well?
It did, yet it didn't. I learned some interesting things about it and then it cut the interview short. I'm sure I'll learn something soon enough though. I scheduled another interview with for later today.
Well, hey, I don't know anyone more capable than yourself to be taking this on.
Thanks, Nathan. Hey, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for calling.
Anytime. Take care.
Today, I get my answers, and then tonight, I get my sleep.
Hello again, Dr. Williams. I do apologize for how I acted yesterday. I haven't had someone ask me those sort of questions in quite a while, and I didn't know how to react. I hope there are no hard feelings.
No, of course not, Yushin. I don't blame you in the slightest. I would like to begin where we left off, though, if that's all right.
Yes, it's quite alright.
Okay, so if you do want to enlighten me, how did you find yourself in your current state?
It's more of a personal affair between family members. Some different viewpoints and beliefs. They thought of me as two-faced, someone who hid behind a mask, so they put me here in one.
That's pretty blunt of them. Not subtle at all.
Yeah, they were never the types for that. How did you end up in your current state, Dr. Williams?
My current state?
Yes. What circumstances led you to where you are right now?
To narrow it down, I'd say my friend in university.
I didn't think that psychology majors had enough of a social life to have friends.
Well, I did. A long time ago. It was a hard time for me.
Please, enlighten me.
I don't want to bore you. Plus, this is your interview.
With all due respect, if you want to get anything out of this interview, I'd like to be able to ask some questions as well.
All right, then.
Please, continue.
I was working on my PhD. It was all I was focused on because it was all I was working towards. I had a friend at the time. I trusted her with my life. I confided in her with almost everything. One day, she steals my paper that I was working on for my thesis. I had worked on it for months, and she stole it and passed it off as her own. I tried to dispute it, but she had closer connections with some of the staff, and they accused me of plagiarism. I had to redo my PhD. Years of hard work and studying gone down the drain. Thankfully, the foundation realized that I hadn't plagiarized and that I had basically completed 2 degrees. That's how I got my position here, and she still did waste almost 8 years of my life.
Oh my, Dr. Williams, that's so terrible. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. It's in the past now. Why do this?
Do what?
Console me. Try to connect with me.
Connections are what hold people together. It is a basis of life. I always try to connect with people. It makes life bearable. Plus, being sealed away for a few thousand centuries makes you think. Do you want to touch me, Dr. Williams?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. You've been staring at me since you walked in here. You've basically been ogling me the whole interview. If you want to touch me, it's...
SCP-35. I don't know how close you think we are, but just because we shared some personal information doesn't mean anything. Besides, I know what happens when people pick you up. I'm not into being mind-wiped.
You say that as if I would hurt you, but I would never. We are friends. Friends don't hurt each other.
Thank you for your attention and time today, SCP-35. Ending the interview.
Until next time, Dr. Williams. And get some sleep while you're at it. The human body cannot function on coffee alone.
What the fuck is happening? Why is this happening?
Dr. Williams? Dr. Williams? Sasha? Sasha?
Hey! Nathan, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. It's yours I'm concerned about. I tried calling, but You didn't answer. I guess you were
Oh, yeah, I was just catching up on some R&R, you know? Had to get away for a while. Well, I have some work to finish up. Busy week. So if you'll excuse me.
Cut the bullshit, Sasha. You and I both know that you're more than just under the weather. Look, I'm worried about you and I care about you, which is why I've contacted the higher-ups. They're reviewing your relationship with SCP-035 as we speak. They sent me to collect the interview footage. I'm sorry, Sasha, but I think this is for the best. She's running.
It's all right, Nathan. You have to do what's right. Hey. Sorry about all the worry, Nathan. I've got some personal things going on at home, and they're affecting my work. It's all on tape. And I can assure you that my personal business has nothing to do with you, SCP-35.
Please don't think that I wanted to do this, alright? I didn't. I just feel like this is the only option.
No hard feelings. If you'll excuse me.
Good morning, Sasha. And how are we today?
Better now. I was wondering if I could run some things by you. Pick your brain a little if you'd let me.
And what is it exactly that you were thinking about?
I was thinking about your offer. About how you feel. Do you actually feel like porcelain? Are you cold to the touch? And do you have a smooth texture? I need to know what it's like to see the world through your eyes.
Only one way to find out, my dear. Let me take you away from this place. Let's go. Together.
Sasha! Sasha! Sasha!
So my final film this year was a music video I actually made for my friend back home in St. John's. His name is Bruce Mate, and his song's called So Cold.
Don't you ask me too many of these questions, cause I'm running and I feel like I'm Forrest with the Lord coming. Baby, I'll be in heaven, what you want from me? Saying that I love you when we know this is far from it. So cold that I let her go. Whoa. So cold that I let her go. Whoa. Wrestle with the learners, turn cameras, I'm a menace. Still still so young, I'm Janice. Good with my manners, they know me like a banish. They play me in Venice, still vanish. Still got even when they say I'm much. Never trust, niggas talk too much. Still even when I'm in a rush. You play the game, I'm Toys R Us. Don't you ask me too many of these questions, cause I'm running and I feel like I'm Forrest with the Lord coming. Baby, I'll be in heaven, what you want from me? Saying that I love you when we know this is far from it. So cold that I let up go. Whoa. So cold that I let up go. Whoa. She say she love me, so she tryna get that act right. Way that I'm pimpin', they simpin', they need some advice. She throw it back, I seen it coming, that's behind sight. Some catch feelings, some catch planes, they don't take flight. 7 bad, that's a good week. Diamonds on fleek, unique. I gotta get mad riches just to feed my teeth. Diamonds on fleek, yeah, unique. Don't you ask me too many of these questions, cause I'm running and I feel like I'm Forrest with the Lord coming. Baby, I'll be in heaven, what you want from me? Saying that I love you when we know this is far from it. So cold that I let it go. Whoa. So cold that I let it go. Whoa.
My documentary was about my father, Daryl Power. He was a bassist in the Great Big Sea, and the documentary was about what life was like being in the band and being on the road and everything that comes with that. Hi, my name is Ben Power. I am a second-year digital filmmaking student at CNA. Every year, the second years are required to make a documentary. This year, my documentary is about my father, a well-known Newfoundland musician.
The Snow Job, 1997. The band are multiple award winners. They won Entertainers of the Year for the second year in a row at the East Coast Music Awards. They're from St. John's, Newfoundland. They are Warner recording artists. Great Big Sea. Lovely day. Beautiful.
Great Big Sea to sing some songs for you. Let's get those hands together. Any covers in the house? Come on, get them up. Hey, hey. We'll teach the world a Newfoundland song. Sing along, come on, you say, aha, me boys are day. Come on, aha, me boys are day. Come on now. Aha, me boys are day. By yourself.
I was born in Outer Cove, which is North Outer Cove, O-U-T-E-R. I say it so fast that Outer. It comes out like Outer Cove, but it's Outer Cove, O-U-T-E-R, and it's a beautiful community. And that's where it all began. That's where I grew up. Music was in my house right from the beginning. Dad was a singer. Dad played in a band called the Kitty Vita Cayley Band. But my earliest memories of parties and Christmas parties and gatherings, family gatherings, is that certain point where the music would start. When the music would start, it wouldn't stop. So the boys had played in a band called the Newfoundland Republican Army. They played a couple of shows up around Mon. And I was doing a lot of solo shows at the Rose and Thistle. So I would have been 19 or something, maybe a little bit more. It was a great little bar, little hole in the wall where a perfect red floodlight that was on the dartboard was adjusted 90 degrees, and suddenly that became the stage light. Motley little PA. One particular night, I was at a wake, and I don't know for who, but we went to the Rose and Thistle afterwards, 9:30, and I got up and sang a song for Talent Night. I know I did Rocky Road to Dublin, at least, and Sean and Bob were there. And they asked if I'd be interested in coming for a jam, and that was the rest is history. That started Rankin Street, which was going for the next 5 years and pretty well got me through school.
Giddy-yi-ay, 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 for the one-night riding, giddy-yi-ay, playing on your old bass drum.
Through Rankin Street, I was still playing shows at the Rose and Thistle now and then, as was Alan. Myself and Sean and Alan formed a trio called Best Kind. Yes, it was a really bad name. And thereafter, Bob was in Barrie, and Bob came back home, and Bob joined us with Alan, and we did our first show at the TSC. We opened for the Irish Descendants. The name of the band, Great Big Sea, was one of the tracks that were on the album, so it just seemed to be something that we had settled on. The first traveling was in a minivan. Toronto to Sault Ste. Marie is 8 hours. Sault Ste. Marie to Thunder Bay, another 8 hours. Thunder Bay to Winnipeg, 6 hours. Winnipeg to Saskatoon, 8 hours. Saskatoon, if we wanted to go right to Vancouver again, might be, I don't know, another dozen hours. And we knew that because that's what we drove every day. Get up in the morning, get in a van, drive 8 hours, drive 10 hours, reverse gating and drive back, drive west to a show in Winnipeg, and then drive east and play a show in Kenora in Ontario or something, just because that's how it worked out. And the driving was all a part of it, every day. Right from the beginning, we had these books, and these were the Bibles. So you knew every day when you had to be up, where you were going, the venue, the hotel. Like I would have been calling all the newspapers and places like that, all the rags, the Now magazines and the Exclaim magazines, to try and let people know that we're there we were in town. It just gets bigger. It's what happens. It just gets bigger suddenly you get a record deal, the tours get bigger, and you know, in terms of percentages, you can look at it and say, well, okay, there's management can be taken up to 20%. Say an accountant might take, on the average, could 10 to 15%, 35%. Your agent could be taking another 15% for the booking of the gig. So you get half of your money spent before you've left the house. The money gets better, but the cost to maintain it gets higher.
Well, it was always Monday morning and the day became fine. Then a harbour raised excursion with the boys from Palestine. And just before the sailor did the gangway from the pier, I saw some fellow hound me wife aboard the volunteer. Oh me, oh my, I heard me always cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me always say, I wish I'd never taken this, just cruising around the bay.
You know, a big venue, large venue, the venue's got so much bigger. I mean, my last time coming through, we were playing where the Oilers played and where the Flames played, half stadiums across. So that those shows are just so big, but they're finished at 9:30. The bus leaves at 6 o'clock the next morning, and you got to be there on the bus by 5:59. People knew we were at hotels. We had the fake hotel names going for a while because we had to. Spinal Tap. We were Spinal Tap for a long while. I was D. Smalls. I don't know if Doyle or McCann was Tufnell. There was probably a scrap over that, but that was part of the gag of it all too.
I heard me always cry. I think I'm gonna die. I heard me always say, I wish I'd not taken this to stood around the bay. She died below the brand and news we were coming back. We buried her in the ocean, wrapped up in a Union Jack. So now I am a Superman, he took her pretty face. And the woman that says she loved me, I'm off for her.
Every now and then we'd plan days off. You'd love to get a day off in Toronto, love to get a day off in Montreal when you could, a day off in Halifax, and Alan in particular, at 7 nights in a row was pushing it too much. So after he'd sing 6 and then rest for 1. If you did have a night off, the first thing you were doing was looking to say, okay, who else is in this city tonight? What other music can we go to see? We could hardly complain at what you're doing. You're going into these towns and playing for, what started out to be 50, might have been 50 people a night, and now you're playing for 5,000, you're playing for 8,000, 10,000 people. So that show was always perfection, that it was all about. But yeah, that show is 90 minutes out of a 24-hour day, so the other 22 and a half. You could have complained, but for the most part, we weren't growlers and whiners and complainers. You couldn't be. That was it.
Well, General Taylor gained the day, walk 'em along. Well, General Taylor, he gained the day. Tell me where you store me, walk 'em along, John, carry 'em along. Tell me where you store me, carry him to his burying ground. We'll dig his grave with our silver spade. Walk 'em along, John, carry 'em along. His shroud of the finest silk will be made.
I had been there right from the beginning when Great Big Sea first started, and saw, I guess, the progression in their popularity and how they became more successful. So starting out like just playing here in St. John's and just doing little gigs here and there, to traveling across the world over 10 years of Great Big Sea representing Newfoundland. I supported him. There was times it was hard, and lonely, to being home by yourself. And a lot of times your dad would be halfway across the world, and we wouldn't be able to talk on a regular basis. So it was lonely at times, but I loved what he did, and it was exciting to be a part of it, and he loved it. The hardest part, soon after you were born, your dad went on the road for like 3 weeks to probably a month. I think he went overseas to Europe. So having a newborn baby at the time was a little bit challenging because, you were a good kid, but you were a little cranky.
I look back at it now though, and really say how lucky I am to have done this. Like, your life is a real beautiful thing, because I had this beautiful period of my life where I got to do what you only dream of, which is one day you go see the wonderful grand band at the stage at the Arts and Culture Centre. You say, this is what I want to do. And then you go see Macon and Clancy at the Arts and Culture Centre perform about itself, and you say, this is it. This is what I want to do. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream.
Riding on a donkey, way, hey, away we go. Donkey riding, way, hey, away we go. Riding on a donkey.
Now it's a whole different end of life can come up, and this pandemic for me is just being reintroducing myself to music, and I've been playing everything and writing tons, and the world is waking up again. Musicians are getting back on the road again, so it just might be nice to get back out there again someday soon. That party that was in Great Big Sea? Yep, that's me. Ben's dad? Hell yeah, that's me.
You're probably wondering why I called you all here.
Did you solve Christoph's murder? Oh, come on, shouldn't you found something by now?
You've been investigating for weeks.
Richard? You were Christoph's number 2 in a smuggling operation. Now, you're running the show. Zachary? You and Christoph were both in love with Suzanne. With him dead, you were free to pursue your heart's desire. Suzanne? You were the sole beneficiary of Christoph's life insurance policy. Now you're on Easy Street.
Sounds to me like any one of us could have done it.
Indeed. Any one of you could have done it. But last night I found the final piece of the puzzle.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Line.
Guys, last one. I think you gotta use the one right there. And very happy. Well, let me do my due diligence first. How's it sound? Sound good? Coming along. It's a complex movement that we got going on right now, so I just gotta make. My name is Peter Buckle. I'm an instructor with the College of North Atlantic with the Digital Filmmaking program, and on this film, The Pinch, I was producer.
My name is Keith Bonnell. I'm one of the instructors here at the Digital Filmmaking program at the Bay St. George CNA campus, and I'm also the executive producer of this Intersession film called The Pinch.
My name is John McKinnon, and I was the director of The Pinch. The film centers around our lead character, Heather, played by Phoebe Gill. Heather is hoping to go to grad school, and she really needs a scholarship to be able to afford it. She's working at a convenience store. She's not really too happy there when a character named Alex, played by Lauren Gillingham, comes into the store and they form a connection. The connection can either go one of two ways, and anyway, I think the audience is really going to enjoy it.
So pre-production is really the prepping for a film. So it comes with taking the script, breaking down the script and all the elements in the script, from the props and the characters and the costumes.
The lion's share of most of my job was to be a locations manager and arrange for locations where we could shoot.
It comes with location scouting, going out on a location scout and seeing what works, what doesn't work for the different locations, doesn't work for the story, doesn't work for the technical aspects of filmmaking. There's also the set, right? So you design a set, you build the set, you paint the set. There's also the casting of actors. So we have to cast the roles for the actors. We have to hire the crew and find out who's going to do what on a film. As well as things like shot listing and storyboarding and planning out all of your lighting plots and your camera plots. So figuring out where all of that's going to happen so you can kind of make the movie before you make the movie.
Okay, good. Something in pictures up. Lock it up. Roll sound.
So production is actually what people oftentimes think about when they think about movie making. They think about going out there with crew and cast and gear and going to different locations and shooting the film.
My name is Charles Pye Strobridge, and I was the cinematographer and the lead camera operator of the film. As the cinematographer, I had to do pre-visualization of the shots that were going to show up in the film, as well as work on the shot list, shot sizes, the angles, basically the look of the film.
My name is James Nook, and I was the camera assistant on the Pinch project. So that meant I was marking tees, marking where the actors went. I was setting up the camera, setting up the tripod, changing lenses, taking notes, and using the clapper and just about a million other things that go into being a camera assistant.
My name is Will, and I was the gaffer for The Pinch.
Being a gaffer is a very technical role. We're responsible for all the electrics inside of the set and the lights. So we try to achieve the visuals that the cinematographer envisions.
My name is Miracle Princess Uchendu. Everyone calls me Mimi. I was key grip in the production The Pinch. As key grip, my major responsibility was to ensure that every gear needed to support the camera was provided and available. Things like tripod, C-stand, as well as equipment needed for the lights, cardellines, flags, muslin, and etc.
My name is Nick Duncan. On the Pinch Intersession film that we did, I was the swing. So I would help anybody with anything, camera operators, lighting, grip, anything physical, that was me.
My name is Michael Jackman and I am the boom operator for The Pinch. As a boom operator, I had to capture dialogue and sound from location and set. I also helped our sound mixer set up lavalier microphones on our actors.
My name is Halen Pittman, and during the production of The Pinch, I was the sound mixer. My job as a sound mixer was to record all the sounds needed on the day, mostly the dialogue. My job was also to record the room tone, and I worked very closely with Michael to achieve all the sounds that we needed.
My name is Ben Power, and on The Pinch, I was the art director. I was in charge of set dressing, the costumes, I designed the posters, I designed the magazines, and I labeled pretty much everything there was in that convenience store.
My name is Andrew Musgrave, and for the Intersession film, I was the assistant director. The AD's job is to help the director throughout production and to try to keep things organized, safe, on budget, and on time. It's a tough job, but in the end, you get to say those magical words that everyone wants to hear.
All right, now it's a wrap.
So once production is wrapped, we go right into post-production, and this is where the story really starts to take shape.
In post-production, my job was to be the editor. As the editor, my job is to piece the movie together. So we get the scenes from production and we set it up in an order to tell the story.
During post-production, my role was being one of the assistant editors. As an assistant editor, my job was to help Will and John with pretty well anything that they needed. This could have been anything from syncing up the sound to working on the trailer, which was probably the biggest job that I did.
In post-production, I was one of the assistant editors. My main responsibility was to sync video and audio files together, as well as assembly edits. I also was responsible for the end credits, and I am supposed to assist with Foley.
My job in post-production is colorist, and colorist is balancing the whites, blacks, reds, greens, and blues of the color spectrum, and then creating your own stylized look for the film.
During the post-production, I am the dialogue editor. The role entailed with that is to divide up the dialogue between each character and put them in the edit as cleanly and as consistently as possible.
For post-production on The Pinch, I am the sound designer. I design the sound effects that you hear, I design the footsteps, cars passing by, sirens in the distance, birds, stuff like that.
So in post-production, I was the music composer, so that involves scoring the music, finding royalty-free music online, and also sometimes I had to bring my own guitar in to provide music for the film.
So my job in the post-production process is the compositor, so that involves cutting out a lot of things, pasting things. One shot we had on the pier had a ladder. My job was to sort of remove that and also to add things like the sign for the bank in the opening montage.
It's great to have the digital filmmaking program from CNA out here in Corner Brook today. Beautiful day for it. Hope you enjoy the city.
It's a lot of fun just being back and working with the crowd. It's a great crowd this time around.
It's a lot of fun. It's great. It feels like coming back to my family. It's what it feels like.
And there are many people who we don't see in movies who work off screen, and they do really hard work.
Making a movie with these students was a great experience because they are all very, very professional, and it really didn't feel like we were working with a student crew. It felt very much like we were working with a professional, seasoned crew on this one.
Being in this Intersession project, it allowed me to ask questions, get involved, and learn what it takes to make an actual film.
It did not feel like the regular semester, and I got more hands-on experience during this semester.
Intersession was extremely satisfying, and being the boom operator taught me what I am capable of.
The Intersession movie was like a dream come true. I always wished to work in the film industry, and that was I believe it was a very close experience.
Intersession was a great opportunity to have the chance to work with everybody in the first and second year.
This Intersession film was a great way to get experience for the industry.
It was awesome because I got to work with my friends closely and actually make a real movie.
The Intersession to me is a way for us to get a taste of what the film industry is like.
These students are all here for the right reasons. They are all passionate about the world of filmmaking and storytelling.
It was really awesome working with the CNA students and just seeing them work as well. You can tell that they're all so passionate about what they're studying, and it drove me to work even harder just to make sure that their film could be the best that it could be.
They were absolutely incredible. They were like a breath of fresh air. It's really awesome to work with people who are just as passionate about art and storytelling as you are.
This is our 11th annual Intersession project in this format, and it has meant the world to us. It has meant the world to this community, and we consistently get support from the community.
The Downtown Business Association of Stephenville came out and gave us electricity from their town square to use. EFCO Enterprises came out and donated a generator to us when ours became problematic. The town of Massey Drive, when we decided to go to Corner Brook to shoot a few scenes, gave us full run of their town hall for a road room and washroom facilities.
Everybody in the Bay St. George campus really supports these films, and so many people in Stephenville have been incredible. Just by way of example, on the last day of the shoot, the 1990s era car that we had for the film wouldn't start.
Just off chance, I went to visit a man, Cyril McCann, here in town, who runs a service station. And without a beat, he said, "I have a 1995 antique sports car. It was in mint shape, very valuable, a special order when he got it. He's had it since day one he owned it. And he just took the keys like that. The keys are yours. I'd like to help the students." And you don't find that anywhere else. If I could make that, let these people know how appreciative we are and how unique it is, and it's because it's so very easy to say no to filmmakers. These people always say yes.
Do it, do it, do it. Come on, do it. Hey.
Did you get it?
Yeah, looking at it right now.
Did you open it?
Not yet.
I'm sure you got in. Your marks were good enough. They had to be good enough.
Yeah. Did you get yours?
It's waiting at home, I'm sure. When I get there, you want to open it together?
Yeah, sure.
Later, bitch!
Later, bitch.
Now maybe did I mean to treat you bad, but I did anyway.
Just a year ago from today, O.J. Simpson led police on a 60-mile slow-speed car chase in Orange counties before being arrested. After hearing another day of testimony, witnesses brought in their version of what allegedly happened during the night that Nicole and her friend Ronald Goldman were slain.
Last time I saw him was about 9:35, maybe 9:36.
Hey, Heather. Any bugs yet?
Not so far.
Great. Look, 3 things. 1, charge this. 2, you're now assistant manager. Congratulations. And the 3rd thing is, since you're now assistant manager, you have to work tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, I have to go to Steady Brook and Stephenville to do something on the weekend. So I'm glad you understand.
So what does this promotion come with?
Yeah, character building.
Great.
Size 12 fits match the bloody shoe prints from a pair of rare, expensive Italian shoes. Controversial new evidence was presented concerning the bloody gloves found at the crime scene. Simpson's lawyers claimed that it was impossible for Simpson to be wearing the gloves because the size was much too small for his hands.
You've reached Miller's. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, it's me. I have to work all weekend, so tomorrow's off. Call me when you get home.
No, I'm good.
What's that?
Oh, this is from grad school.
Okay. Aren't you gonna open it?
Oh, I'm saving it for when my friend calls. We're opening it together. Hey. Hey. You got the time? Yeah, it's 7:30. Thanks. I know you. Yeah, how would that be?
CBA, right? What year are you?
How come?
Just curious. I graduated 2 years ago.
I graduate this spring.
I must be mistaking you for somebody else. Sorry.
It's alright.
Too bad. Hi, Mr. Owens.
Hi,
Alex.
Alex.
Didn't see you earlier today.
No, I was busy, and speaking of which, Heather, can I speak to you for a second? Is he sketchy?
So hard.
Okay, whatever. Look, I gotta go pick something up, so you have to lock up and do the bank deposit after. Okay. Hey, everything you need's in the envelope in the safe. Just put it in that little slot in the bank. Okay.
Bye, Mr. Owens. All good?
Yeah, it's nothing. So, you're Alex?
Yeah. And you're Heather. Nice to meet you, Heather.
Nice to meet you, Alex. So, is there anything you need?
I think I got everything. I gotta kill about an hour or so. Is it alright if I just hang out?
It seems to be happening a lot today.
You've been here long? You got them on your cameras?
We just have the one, but, yeah, so far nothing.
Well, I can keep you company, just in case.
Yeah.
And why so glum?
Glum. It's their full ride scholarship that I applied for that I don't know about.
When do you find out about that? Do they phone you or something?
No.
Okay, so what are you gonna do if you don't get it? You could apply for student loans, couldn't you?
Tuition is already pretty high. Student loans would barely cover it. I'd still have to work.
And, this place isn't doing it for you.
No.
Well, there's always the lottery.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I hear the chances of winning are like 1 in 3.
You know, it's weird. Even if I did win the lottery, I don't think I'd go to grad school.
Yeah? Why not?
I mean, I don't know if I want to be in finance my whole life. I don't want to do it for a few years and burn out and feel like I've got to go to school again just to learn something else.
So, what would you do?
If I went back to school?
No, you dork, if you won the lottery.
Dork?
Yeah, dork.
I get a nice place somewhere and just chill.
Like where?
A cabin by the lake. Someplace nice and calm.
Why the lake?
I don't know. I went one summer as a kid and it was perfect.
Wouldn't you get bored?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You need some more adventure in your life.
Okay, what would you do?
Well, I'd get the hell out of Newfoundland the first chance I got.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have the freedom I need here.
Where would you go?
Maybe Halifax? What's wrong with Halifax?
I went there once. It's too busy for me.
Well, okay, somewhere outside of Halifax then. Where there's a lake.
Oh?
Is he doing it? Is he?
Oh my god, I wish.
I think he is. I think.
Finally. Jesus, how long can a person just hang around a store doing nothing?
What are you trying to say? Do you think he took anything?
At this point, I don't even care.
So? Are you going to find out?
Oh,
Go for it. Call your friend.
I have to watch the store.
I can do that for you.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. This can't be harder than where I already work. Come on, what's the worst thing that could happen? Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves break in and rob the place? Go on. I've got this.
Okay, this should just be a minute.
Hey, you ready?
Okay, let's do it. Yes!
You got it?
Yes, you?
Yeah.
This is so awesome. And the scholarship too?
You got it?
Yeah, I was in with the letter. Did you see yours?
I didn't get one.
Oh. Damn it, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Congratulations.
Thanks. It means a lot. Hey, are you still working late tonight?
Yeah.
Well, since we can't meet tomorrow, call me if you're up to do something later.
Sure.
Later, babe.
Hi. Got in.
The scholarship? I guess you still need this job then.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
No. But that is. So's this. You need to have 0 bright ideas right now, alright? Is there another phone in here besides the one in the office? Good. Lock the door. I know Mr. Owens didn't go to the bank today. That's why I'm here.
You want what's in the cash register?
He's got a safe, right? I want what's in that.
It's not gonna be much.
You know the combination, don't you? You need to think long and hard about the downside of not cooperating. Are you fucking kidding me?
We had to close it for a few days for fumigation.
What else is in there? Grab a bag.
Notebook. Notebook. Damn it, Heather.
You knew about this?
I suspected. Every day for the last, 2 years, he's gone to the bank with a big ol' envelope and then left without it. Today he didn't, so... I'm surprised you didn't know about this. Have you seen his house? You really had no idea he was doing something dodgy on the side? Whatever. I'm just glad this went alright for both of us.
You're welcome.
We're not done here yet, though.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, it's gotta happen.
I'll be stuck in there all weekend.
So? I need time to catch a boat and I can't have you calling anybody.
What if I need to pee?
Now, if you please.
He's got 2 other stores.
What?
This one here in town, another in Stephenville, and one in Steady Brook.
And?
This might not be his only stash. He has his information somewhere.
Easy. What are you doing?
He keeps everything in his notebook.
Show me. There's no addresses.
We could get them from the phone book. They're still open for a few hours, so if we move quickly...
Think his other clerks can get into the safes there?
Even if they can't, he probably uses the same combination. He hasn't changed that one in forever. What?
Say we do this. Then what?
You have a way off the island, yeah?
Yeah?
I go with you. Really? I can't afford school, and even if I could...
So what did you have in mind?
You said there were lakes near Halifax?
So, I'd get you off the island and then drop you off with your share by some lake?
Or...
Really? You and me in a cabin together?
Why not?
Happily ever after?
That wouldn't be so bad, would it? Sorry about that.
You not usually close this early, huh?
No, pardon me for that. Go ahead. That'll be $150. Thank you.
Stay here. Alright, that should stop.
Don't move. I admit, you really had me going there with that lake idea. Don't worry, I'm not gonna shoot you, but you are getting in that closet.
No, seriously, I'll be good.
Sorry, I should have gone about ages ago. Do you have any other phones I don't know about?
No, this isn't even mine. It's my boss's.
Huh. Speak of the devil.
Alex,
Hi, Mr. Owens.
what the hell are you doing?
Robbing you?
You showed her where the safe is?
Yeah. She's been very cooperative. She even told me about your stores in Stephenville and Steadybrook. Oh! So you do have money there. Nice. Looks like I'll be paying both of those places a visit once I get you two in the closet.
Like hell you will.
Cornerbrook Police, what's your emergency? Hello? Hello? What's the nature of your emergency?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on, Heather. Do it.
Now maybe did I mean to treat you bad, but I did anyway. And then maybe someone say life was sad, but you lived it anyway. And so maybe your friends will stand around you, watch you crumble as you fall into the ground. And then someday your friends will stand beside as you are flying. Oh, you were flying oh so high. But then someday people look at you, and what they call their own, they watch you suffer. Yeah, here you're coming home. And then someday we can take our time to brush the leaves aside so you can reach us. Hey, but you left me far behind. And I'm did I mean to treat you so bad? But I did. Now it's in my Someone said that we what you had, but you couldn't tell me. Yeah, now couldn't share the pain and watch you suffer. Now maybe could have made my own mistakes, but I live apart now. And then maybe we might share in something great. Won't you look at where we've grown? Won't you look at where we've grown? And then someday comes tomorrow, holds sense of what I feel for you in my mind as you trip to find